Hello and welcome to a special interview with a special friend of mine. All of India wants to know this. This is his first video interview since the surgery. So, the first question on behalf of every football fan. Simple question, Sandesh Jhingan, आप कैसे हैं? पहले ये बताइए, सारे देश का सारे फुटबॉल फैंस, irrespective of club, whatever, nobody cares. सारे एक ही सवाल पूछ रहे हैं. आप कैसे हो? How was the surgery and when can we have you back?
Firstly, good morning, Paji, and thanks for having me on the show. And I'm doing well. The surgery went really well. The rehab started, so let's see. We're gonna analyze day by day how it goes, and God willing, I'll be back soon.
देखिए, दो तीन सवाल है. पहला सवाल तो यह है, आपने ऑलरेडी यू हैव ट्वीटेड saying that it was your call to continue. While medically, and I've written it today, medically one can't explain this call. Whether Rishabh Pant in Manchester with a broken foot, Chris Wokes with a dislocated shoulder, Sandesh Jhingan with a broken jaw. How is this possible? With so much pain, what prompted you to continue and how is it possible?
I think honestly, I really don't understand the fuss about it or the confusion about it. What else you expect me or any other athlete to do? You know, if you're playing for your country or if you're playing for your club, of course, it was an unfortunate incident. Player didn't mean it. It happens. Position I play, it's quite common to break. I've broken my nose many times, got stitches on my face many times, but that's pretty normal for the position I play. It just comes back to the same thing, you know. What else you expect? You know, if I'm still able to walk or if I'm still able to give my best, you know, of course the pain is there, but you know, in that moment, what are you gonna do? Just walk out of it, and then you'll regret it more if you just walk out of it. If you can give your best, you know. I remember the time in the Asian Cup when I did my ACL against Syria in the 40th minute. I knew I broke my knee, but then I continued to play 5 minutes more because I felt, you know, I can still go on about it. And when we went in the dressing room, I knew my knee was wobbly, but I still came back out because I still felt I could give my best. But the moment I couldn't walk, then I knew someone else can give his best and they'll be more beneficial for the team. And then I came out. But when it happened there in Tajik, I felt I could play, and that's it. You know, again comes back to the same thing. What else do you expect? The player has to play. That's his duty. You know.
डर नहीं लगता आपको? You have a child, you have a family.
You have to weigh at that moment when you're in that situation. Your brain subconsciously starts to weigh the different situations, and one situation holds the weight that you're going to walk out when you know you can play. I think just by saying that, I think it's tough to go ahead and think of another situation, you know, can't walk out, you know, that then it will dent me more and, you know, then I won't be able to make an eye contact with my daughter if I would have walked out knowing I could play.
That first game, big moment for Indian football to win 2-0 because for a period the national team has not done really well. Khalid Jamil, good start, two quick goals. Rahul, yourself, can you tell me about the team atmosphere and that restart again? And now that we've qualified for the playoffs also, thoughts?
Firstly, I congratulate the boys in the group chat also. They've been really well since we have joined in Bangalore and then of course in Tajik. There was one of our main aims that we don't want to go there just for the participation. Of course, teams looked at us in that sense, but we kind of proved them to a certain extent wrong and we gave a really good account of ourselves till now, and I'm pretty confident we'll do it against Oman as well. And it was a massive boost for us to win the first game, knowing that we haven't played to our potential. And it's purely on the players, dependent on them, you know, whatever the results haven't come, it's purely on us. And we knew that the onus was for sure on us to get the result. And we gave a good account of ourselves, a good performance. first game under Khalid coach, and was a brilliant start. But we got to, like I said, even there, I don't think I didn't tweet or post anything regarding my statement, but it's still a very tiny step. Our main target is to qualify for the Asian Cup, so it's our main job now to build on that, not just as a team, just as a nation also. Because there are going to be moments in football, 2 days you are heroes, that's 3 days later you are, not even good enough in people's opinion. But it cannot divert your intention, it cannot divert your focus and your discipline, which should always be aimed at the bigger prize. We won against Tajik, then we lost against Iran. So in the span of 3 days, you can have different emotions. So we cannot let different tides of emotions affect our discipline and our focus. And these 4 games, I repeat, are just preparation for us to be in the best shape possible to aim for the qualification for our third consecutive Asian Cup in 2027.
Yeah, and things haven't really gone well with the Asian Cup so far. I mean, how confident are you? Because you've told me in the past that don't worry about whatever has happened in the past. We still have an opportunity. Under Khalid, new team, new coach, new setup. How confident are you?
Always confident even if there is no light to be seen in the tunnel. Otherwise, there's no point of stepping on the pitch if you're not confident enough, regardless how bad the situation is, because even if it's impossible, even if it's, I'm not saying it is right now, but in general in life, no matter what obstacle comes your way, no matter how hard it is, if you already give it up, then there's no hope at all. Same situation is one of the most difficult thing in the world. Imagine you're in that situation. But if you just believe collectively, first individually, then collectively, then you can achieve. Even though it's gonna be very, very hard, nothing's gonna change. But just because you decided that you can achieve it, there is hope. And when there is hope in your heart, it helps you get up early in the morning to put that extra effort. And when there is hope in your heart, miracles do happen. And I've seen that personally in my life. I'm not saying they're in that situation, but I'm just saying in general, based on confidence, it always has to stay high, no matter what, no matter how dark the room is, no matter how many people are not supporting you, no matter how many the chips are down, just be confident, keep working hard, do your duty, and if God wills it, it will happen. If not, make sure you work harder the next time.
What does captaining India mean to you? Wearing that armband?
Well, it's a greatest honor, I think, for any athlete. Just to play for your country itself, it's the biggest honor for any athlete. And I think I got my first armband in 2017, I think against China. I think before that in Tri Nation, but like I've been winning on and off since 2016 or 17. So, but it doesn't really change much, when you have it, you know, you do those extra formalities, but apart from that, it doesn't like it's not that if I'm wearing an armband, I have to do something different. I'm the same Sandesh Jhingan, and I'm gonna. The reason coach trusted me wearing the armband on a certain day, it doesn't mean that now I have to do something different. He gave me that because he saw something in me, or the boys see something in me. Just continue to be the same Sandesh Jhingan.
For a period, because of the Supreme Court case, because of everything else, there was a degree of uncertainty. Now it's getting sorted. Super Cup will most probably be in October. That's what I've heard from the AIFF. Possibly the season will start in December. A lot of young players were facing uncertainty. Your thoughts on that now that all of that is getting clarified? Were you worried at any point for these young players? Because ultimately, are not just players, part of the ecosystem, the physios, the masseurs, even the fans who religiously support the sport. We wanted this uncertainty to get cleared out and the season to start. Your thoughts?
Not just for young players, I think in general, like you mentioned, for the whole ecosystem of Indian football, it was kind of a nervy period. It was one of them situations was so new. I've never been part of such a thing where the league is getting, in doubt. So it was, I won't lie, it was kind of confusing, but I trusted my people, I trusted the ones who are behind it that they're going to solve it. And I'm a person, just this is personal opinion. I'm not trying to, say everyone should think that way, but the way I look at life is whatever's happening around, and then God will see what's best. What's in my hand, I should focus on that. And that period when it was all happening, we had the AFC Champions League qualification game, and I knew the Kappa Cup was coming up. So I just tried to, build on my game, and I tried to a certain degree to, not focus on that side because I really didn't have much say in it, and I'll be very honest about that. So if I don't have anything to say in it, means I can't change it. So if you can't change it, why you think about it so much? Unless if you can change, get your hands dirty. But I literally had no say in it, so I was just focused on my duty, doing my best. And but more than myself, I was of course all afraid for the ones who are with the club, like you mentioned, the masterers, the ones, the groundsmen, because for them you feel a little bit, more sympathy. But I'm just happy that the things are kind of getting solved because what ISL has done in the past 10, 12 years, it's built such a beautiful ecosystem with the fans, religiously loving and following the clubs. The youth development system is fantastic. We can see that with the under 23 team doing so well, even the juniors, both boys and girls. So the whole ecosystem is developing. So I'm just happy that it's all coming back to normal and we continue to build on it.
AFC, I was speaking to a couple of your colleagues in Mohun, Anirudh and Shubhashish, and both of them tell me that the club is determined to make a mark at the Asian level. Same for FC Goa. Your thoughts on AFC? I think if you miss the first game, that's a big blow. That's my personal opinion. But your thoughts on the AFC for FC Goa?
When I joined 3 years back, most of us it was quite the same batch. When we a lot of new guys came to the club from the coaching staff and the players. The initial conversation was that the club wants to do good in the ISL, with its history in the ISL and always being a top club. So we want to get back to where it belongs. But one of the main subjects in those conversation was that the club wants to do well in the AFC, that the owners want to leave a strong mark at the AFC level. So when we did that in our second season only to qualify, and then we had LC, I think a lot of people, quite rightly, didn't have much expectations from us, knowing that they were the champions of AFC2 some 2 or 3 years ago. But we get a great account of ourselves, and now being in the Champions League, gives us immense pride. Also gives us immense responsibility because we're going to present India in the continental level, and we want to do well. We have a very good squad. Same for the other teams, and then it's just about taking each game as it comes. And same for Mohun Bagan and same for us and everyone who's involved in this group. We want to go ahead to the knockout rounds and go as far as possible, knowing it's going to be difficult. But I have a lot of confidence in our team. And God willing, we will achieve our targets.
Whether it is Mohun Bagan, whether it is FC Goa, and I can say this having spoken to you, having spoken to a lot of Mohun Bagan players, I think the club has now, or these clubs, pedigree clubs, or most clubs, take care and protect their players. And you have tweeted already saying whether it's the All India Football Federation, whether it's FC Goa, they were and I spoke to Satya, and I'm putting it on record. I spoke to him within hours of you sustaining that injury, and I was told by the AIFF that whether it's a specialist in coaching, whether it's someone, the AIFF wanted to put its hand up to make sure that they had your back. There was some nonsense going around social media. Can you just tell me that at no point did you feel that no, you did not have support? You had support from FC Goa and AIFF, right? I mean, that's what I know because I had also spoken to these people. But what about you?
I don't know how it all erupted, to be honest. It's a shame that I had to put a statement like this just to clarify that both have been supportive because the people in the national team, Gigi George, Pratik, they've been knowing me for 10 years, literally know my body in and out. And I've been lucky enough to be the national team for a decade, and I've never felt once that the national team has been on the wrong side or not taking good care of me or anyone else, to be honest. and even the clubs, FC Goa, the moment it happened, I don't know where it all came from. I've never seen, at least in my circle, where the national team or the club, the respective player has not done justice to them when they had an injury. And if the question which came that why did they allowed him, any player who's in that situation, end of the day, it's his call. Of course, if it's a concussion, it's very bad. If he's, all wobbly, he's all dizzy, he's vomiting, that's different. I didn't have any of them symptoms, apart from the pain and that mark. And I decided on my own. Of course, I tweeted on that thing. And I'm not proud of it, and I don't promote it at all. It was a stupid decision, but it's my body. And at that moment, I felt I could go and, keep my best for the country, and I continue to do that. There's no one should be blamed apart from me. If something happens, I'm taking call of it. This is my body. I took the call. So if anyone needs to be held responsible or to be blamed, blame the player. Apart from that, the national team has always taken good care of us, at least for me and the people whom I know. And same for the clubs. I got operated in less than 48 hours. I flew straight away. Everything was taken well care. I went to work also right now in the morning. Everyone is very supportive, and I don't know the agendas behind it, but as long as I've been the national team and as long as I've been part of the professional football in the clubs, I've always been taken great care of, and not just me, most of the people around me as well. Of course, there'll be some instance here and there, but majority of the times, I feel very blessed with the people around me.
I promised you 15 minutes and I'll ask the last question. I know it's not in your hands entirely. You will have to be guided by medical experts and doctors. But knowing you, you've always pushed and pushed hard. And that's what defines whether it's Sachin Tendulkar, whether it's Sandesh Jhingan, the best elite sports people, whether during Sachin's tennis elbow or multiple operations, being his biographer, I know it well. Being your friend, I know it well. Elite sports people have always pushed. Can we expect you to be back for India on the pitch in October? Is that a realistic expectation?
What can I do is just give my best. Future is uncertain whenever I think about it too much and bring unnecessary expectations or fear in your heart. Right now, my main focus is just to get the swelling down, start eating food properly. And the moment I can do that, start training. And if God wills it, it will happen. If my hard work is good enough, if my patience to keep good rest, to give good rest to my body is good enough, then I will play. If I miss out on any of those things, it will get delayed. So I will give my best to be ready, not just for the AFC, even the games before I have for FC Goa as well. And if I tick all the boxes, like the God wills it, then I will play. If not, then I should do more work hard and I should give more rest. But that's how I look at it.
I let you go there. I let you go. And one can read between the lines, and I can tell you this. If you are watching this man will give his more than 200% to be on the pitch, whether it's for his club or his country. That's how I've known him. That's how I've known him over the years. And that's what I've written. Lion-hearted, absolute champion, few like him. And that's why he's so good for Indian football and for Indian sport. Thanks, Sandesh Jhingan. Absolute delight to talk to you as always. You take care of yourself because the country needs you and your club needs you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.